Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, obviously. Um, Before I jump into the movie that I'm going to be talking about today, I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to a couple of people at work, um, to Blair and Chris. This past couple of days, both of you guys have kind of come up to me and have told me how you guys have been kind of checking out the videos and stuff, and kind of are liking them and stuff, and makes me kind of happy to know. Especially like you guys who I know you guys aren't huge horror fans or anything, but makes me kind of happy, gives me a little bit of joy knowing that you guys are kind of checking these out and stuff. Both of you guys have kind of given me some feedback on some topics you'd like me to talk about. Hopefully, I'll get to those in the near future. So yeah, just like I said, I wanted to kind of get that out of the way. But now for the video that I'm going to be talking about today, that I know I've been kind of saying for the last like 5 days now that I would be doing, finally getting around to doing it. Um, so like I said a few days ago, I'm going to be talking about Volumes of Blood, which I've never heard about this movie until I had received it last month in my May Blu-ray horror pack. Um, so little kind of info about this movie. It came out last year, back in 2015, and it's a very low budget movie. From what I understand, um, it had a lot of people who sent like story ideas in and everything. I think it was like in the thousands, I want to say. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, it's pretty new. I don't know too much about this movie, but from what I understand, there was a lot of people kind of interested, wanted to take part in this movie, and really for most of these people, whether it's on screen or behind the scenes, just being involved in this movie, it's really their first like major picture. And the people kind of behind this were like, well, there's so many people out here who, are trying to break into the film business, but just aren't really getting chances because, they don't have any film credits or anything or any work experience in the field. So they kind of wanted to, try and get a couple people, like literally their feet wet in this business. So I think it's kind of cool that they actually kind of like handpick some of these people to just, like I said, basically, you know, get them some experience in the business. So, with that being said, at first it was kind of like, like I was really excited about this movie first off because when I was reading the description on the back, it's an anthology movie. So, and I love anthology movies. Like the first anthology movies I saw were Creepshow and Creepshow 2, and I love those movies. I actually own those two on DVD. So I just, I love anything, anthology style, whether it's Trick or Treat, Creepshow, like I said. Um, but yeah, it's pretty good, decent little movie. I've watched it, so I've had it for about a month now, and I've watched it twice, and both times I was really entertained by this movie. Um, and I feel like when I was watching it, like you could tell, like these, everyone who's working on it was just really into doing this project, really love the genre, really are, just passionate about making movies, and especially in the horror genre, really kind of passionate about doing it. And the stories themselves are actually, I enjoyed them a lot. Like the first story that one of the buddies tells is about like an energy drink. And it's a very, I feel like it's kind of like one of those kind of common stories where sort of like, warning you about careful what you put into your body, careful what you consume, kind of like, back when I was growing up where it was careful with your Halloween candy. There might be like razor blades in the candy or something, or the infamous urban legend of uh, Mikey from like cereal eating combination of like Coke and Pop Rocks. Coca-Cola, obviously, like Coke and Pop Rocks, and he died because his stomach exploded. So just, fun little story, pretty humorous. Like the first story, like I said, was about an energy drink, and it comes in where this girl's at a library. It's like midnight or something, and she's trying to write a paper or something. She's very tired. She's trying to stay awake, and you get this kind of creepy, small, bald guy who's like, "Oh, here's an energy drink. Let's, he looks like you need a little pick me up or something." And she's kind of like, "No, no, no." She's kind of very standoffish, where you feel like, okay, maybe you should be a little concerned, a little, um, like, I'm not gonna take it because, like I said, you never know what someone's giving you. And I think the little slogan for the energy drink is something like, "Oh, an energy drink that'll blow your mind," um, and it literally does. So this girl eventually takes the energy drink, like the guy leaves it for or something, and takes off, and she's sitting there for a little bit trying to concentrate, and she just finally gives up. It's like, you know what, I need a little something. Takes a sip of this energy drink, and a few minutes later, she starts like, you see her, she's like, "Oh, I'm burning up," and then she starts like bleeding from her nose and stuff, and she's trying to like crawl around this library trying to find someone to help her, and next thing you know, like her head literally blows up from this energy drink. So, just a fun little story. And the three other stories are pretty good too. Like there's one, I think the second story is about, and by the way, all the stories take place in the library. Like those just kind of, I guess they just chose the library because they, couldn't afford to go from like location to location. So it was just like, all right, give us, write a story, send them in, but it has to be based around like being in the library for, like obviously like money purposes and stuff, financial purposes. So like the second story is basically like this guy's kind of closing up the library, putting back a couple of books and stuff, and there's this like one book that keeps like falling off the shelf, and like he'll put it back and then he'll go to the main aisle, and book that he just put away is in the middle of the aisle. And he's kind of like, what the, and before we know it, there's like a statue, sort of like, it's really creepy, sort of like Ring ripoff statue that's kind of following him, kind of like haunting him basically. And at the end he sort of like wakes up. You think, oh, he's dreaming, whatever. But then like the opening scenes of the story kind of start playing again. You're like, wait a second, maybe he's not dreaming, and they pan back to him, and we see the little like, you know, creature that was stalking him like right behind him, just sitting there right behind him. That's when you're like, oh my god, he's like trapped. It's almost like a Twilight Zone type of story. Um, but yeah, it's and there's two other stories in it that are really good. Last one is about like is entitled Encyclopedia Satanica, and girl in that like does like says like her dead boyfriend's name and kisses the cover, and he comes back and kind of like blames her for his death and everything. Um, but yeah, it was, it's a, like I said, it's a low budget movie. And I know in my last video I kind of said like I've been watching a lot of low budget movies um, that I've just been really disappointed about, like they just. But no, this one Volumes of Blood. It's good. It's especially for a recent movie. It's I do recommend kind of checking this out. I think other people might have an appreciation for this movie. Um, and plus the fact, like I said, I think it's kind of cool that like the director of this and everything was kind of like, I want to take my money and be able to give like other people a chance to kind of actually work on a full length movie and kind of get them some experience and hopefully help them like become like directors or actors or writers or whatever that they want to do in this business. So definitely I want to kind of do my part to like you know show a little love to these guys. Um, but yeah, and like I said, it's a um, pretty entertaining. I like I said, I was pretty surprised by how entertained I was by this, and like I said, I've watched it twice so far, and both times are still um, just as entertaining. And they do actually have a couple of like special features on here. Um, I don't know why I'm showing this to you because it's not really like you can really see too much. But you see, there's some, you know, special features on there. And I've checked out all the special features on this, with the exception of the audio commentary with the directors. But I don't know. Maybe next time I watch this, maybe I'll check out the commentary. But yeah, it's pretty good. And actually, if you guys do ever check this out and you have it on like Blu-ray, or I'm assuming DVD too, if it's on DVD, that it has the same features. But definitely check out the special features, especially the prelude short, because at the beginning of this film, actually, we kind of it opens up with like this girl tied up. Looks like she was like probably beaten up a little bit to subdue her, and you're kind of like, what does that have to do with the rest of the movie? Like, how did she get there? But if you were to watch the prelude in the special features and the extras, you kind of see how she came to be tied up and, spoiler alert, was eventually killed at the beginning of the movie. But I think that was kind of cool, to sort of have that opening, and then you could go and like check the special features to see like what was up with that little bit of the opening. Um, but yeah, and it's there is some awkward acting in this, but um, definitely kind of like awkward acting that I think some people might kind of appreciate, where it's like, yeah, it's a little awkward, little. It's kind of like some of it's like bad acting, but it's not anything where you're like it destroys the experience of the movie. Um, I just feel like it's maybe since a lot of people's first movies are a little like a little not sure how to deliver a line or something, but like I said, it's nothing where it's going to like ruin the you know experience of watching this. Once again, I mean, sometimes some of the movies that I love so much, it's kind of something I like where it is kind of like an awkward performance. But yeah, it's good though. It's a good movie. I definitely kind of recommend this. And I definitely like if anyone does check this one out, um, or maybe has seen it already. Let me know what you guys think of this, because like I said, I really enjoyed it. I wonder if other people are gonna really like it as much. I think people will, but especially since it's a newer one, like it's not like Halloween or Friday 13th where it's like everyone and their mother has had an opinion about it. Um, and it's also going to be interesting too to see maybe how over the years how this movie might stand up. Like who knows, maybe in 10 years I might look back on this movie and be like, yeah, whatever, it was a movie. But yeah, check it out. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you whenever I do next video. I'm not sure what I'm doing next, so I'll see you guys later.